So contrast now, our pets, you say go to heaven too, which I was delighted. Those are two breakthrough understandings for me when I met you and read your books. Is that my wife and I had a miscarriage? That baby's in heaven. We've named it, like you said, to name it,
That's
and so
awesome.
and when we go there, we don't know if it's a boy or a girl because it was too undeveloped at that point.
Yeah.
But we give it a name. But now contrast that with a pet. I'm assuming you're not going to say a pet pre-existed, but I mean maybe you did. I've never asked the question. Are pets created only here on Earth? And then the follow up question is, do they have a soul and or do they have a soul spirit combination like you just described with the humans?
I
So
knew you were going to ask that question.
you know me too well.
Well, number one, they would have to have a soul and the spirit, or
Okay.
they couldn't make choices or decisions.
Okay.
Even when I can take you to the word again, when Noah was told to put the animals on the ark, God said to him, you can check it out in Genesis, people, put every animal on the ark that has a spirit of life in them. We already know
Wow.
what the spirit of life is. That's the spirit and the soul. That's what was put in Adam. And so that's what he said. So they do have, well, however he sends them or when he sends them. And I can't answer that they were there before. I just know when they were created at the time he
Yeah.
made them. Uh, in the same way, of course, we know when conception takes place in that pet or that animal, whatever, there's going to be a spirit of life added. It just happens that way. But as far as saying, did they live in God? I don't know that. But I do know that they have a spirit and they have a soul, or they wouldn't, number one, would have never been put on the ark, right, to survive. And they would not be able to make choices. When you die and go to heaven, some people believe in soul sleeping. In other words, they think the spirit only goes to heaven and the soul and the body go in the grave. Well, that would be not a good thing for you because that's like sticking you in there. Your soul never sleeps. It's always awake and it's always active. It's always thinking. It's always making plans. And so I'm sure that pet, you know yourself if you had pets, they have attitudes. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they like you. Sometimes they don't like you. Cats, especially.
Yeah.
They may like you one day, maybe don't want you to pet them the next. The dogs are always happy no matter what. So even
That's
they have different attitudes, different natures to them. So I just have to say that every pet that goes to heaven, they all have a spirit, they all have a soul. God said they're not the ones who sinned. They don't have to receive Christ as their Savior like a human does,
yeah.
because we make that decision ourselves to do that. Although I'm sure there's a lot of them that love Jesus Christ that are in heaven. I'm talking about your pets. So you won't escape having your pets in heaven, people. And yes, they will still know that's you and they'll still love you. So be nice to them.
That's good.